Hi, how's it going? My name's KGart. I'm here to sculpt. It's been a couple weeks. Wasn't able to go last week because I was out camping, but we're back. I'm recovering from sickness too, which, hooray. But yeah, new stream hood is what? Is it? Is it new? Is it new because it's been so long it feels like it's brand new? Yeah, I've been out of it for the past few days. Sick and working from home, but we're back. Gonna do maybe a couple things tonight, we'll see. But I definitely want to get back to Frieren for sure, because it's been a while since I worked on her on stream, also just in general. And also next month or so is going to be heavy on Odious stuff because I got to catch up on that, but I don't know how much of that I'll do on stream. That might help, though. It might bring some people in. Oh, there was a lag. What happened there? That was different. But yeah, here we are, back again. How you doing, Josh? How's everyone doing? I see there's a few people in here. I think we're going to jump on over and start getting to work. Welcome, everyone. Thank you again, Josh, for re-upping. See, is there odious stuff you aren't allowed to do on stream? I don't think so, not at this time. But I'm sure that way to let me know if there is anything. I'll probably ask as I do, but all the werewolf stuff I've already been working on stream, so I don't think any of that's going to be an issue. And most of the stuff I think he's shown already. Oh, man, my mustache is drooping on one side. Even it out. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think there's anything that is the case in that sense. But I don't think we have to worry about that for a bit, you know? I'm sorry if my voice is a bit froggy. Had this cold, been coughing and sneezing. Today's like the first day where I've not been coughing or sneezing that much, so thank goodness. Let's see. I feel like we haven't seen all the weapons, maybe. Yeah. Not yet. Some of the stuff he's posted, I've seen, I think, everything. But I think the rifle for the Army O and the katana for and the staff for Ronin Odious. Yeah, those haven't been shared yet. I think of the weapons that I've worked on for the new stuff, the only thing that has been seen is the Inuit Odious. But yeah. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to get back to posing. Well, there's not much left to pose, honestly. I'm just going to work on this hand a bit, and then I'm going to start getting back into getting the clothing, starting to match the pose with that. And actually, should have done some prep, but I'll do that right now. I'll bring up the reference for that. Import. Frieren. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you might have missed, I think he's posted some of the stuff, but I don't remember how much of it he has posted. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to him about it, you know, so I don't think there's going to be too much that is a big deal in that regard. But we'll see. Odious is his baby. I don't decide. I always try to ask him when I'm doing stuff, unless it's something that we've already kind of talked about or agreed upon, if I can show it or work on it for people to see. And he hasn't really voiced anything that he wouldn't want seen. But I would imagine if it's like a big reveal, if it's something that hasn't been seen before, he might want to control that. But for now, he's going to, he seems pretty good with all the stuff that I have been working on. What have you been working on, Mr. Josh? I know you were messing with that new resin last time we were on stream, which was like a couple weeks ago. Which seems like forever ago. It's amazing what happens when 2 weeks goes by. Right now I'm still just working on posing this hand. I'm going to try not to take too long with this. I want to get it mostly where it is and get to kind of some of the fun stuff with the clothing again. Because I know that's how this is going to all come together and people are going to start getting excited about that, because then we'll get back into or then we will start to get into engineering and print prep, which I'm excited for. Let's see. Pumping out what I can for con exclusives this year in orange. Once I'm done with the bottle, I'll be glad to move on. Are you not liking the orange? Is it not fun to work with? I may get some pink though. Sounds fun. Yeah, the color sounds fun. Do you find that the different colors chemically are so different that there's some that are way more challenging to work with just because of the particular color? I mean, that purple stuff was pretty cool. See, orange has real bad light transmission. Okay. Are you talking about for when it's curing, or just the how it looks once it's coming off the machine? Yellow, orange, red suck from what I've heard. Purple was a breeze. Yeah, I mean, it looked good. Looked like it came off the machine good. Looked like it cleaned up pretty good. I was really impressed with those images you were posting on Instagram. See, just trying to get it to even stick to the plate. Oh, yeah. It's funny, like, I know there's like dialing in to stick to the plate just right, and you don't want to do it too much. But I found, even with just like the gray that I'm using on my Elegoo, I way overdid it, because when I did kind of the recommended, it really wasn't cutting it. I was getting a lot of failures in it, pulling off the plate. So I set it pretty high, at least for those initial layers, and then everything else just kind of standard. And yeah, that seemed to do the trick. I haven't really had any issues with it like being really affecting the base foundation for the stilts in a negative way. So yeah, it's I'm of the mind, at least, you know, as a very novice 3D printer, that's not as big of an issue that maybe people make, but maybe it's just where I am and the temperatures in my garage. Let's see. Yeah, recommended settings are trash for sure. But yeah, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on just over curing the initial bits. See, printers and environments are so different. Gotta dial in your setup. Yeah, that's true. But as always, thanks for being here, Josh. And also, Huefi Sensei, thank you for being in the background. I appreciate it. Josh is my boy, always throwing subs and hanging out. And I always enjoy the other cool peeps that swing through or just lurk. I know I'm still new to this. Some streams are probably going to be a little bit more boring than others, but we'll get through. I just like getting to work on some stuff and hanging out and chatting, and hopefully some interesting conversation comes through. Let's see. Yeah, I already read that. Plus being sick, you know, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure how my energy was going to be today, to be honest. Let's see. I hate that Twitch app on the phone. Can't be on a... Yeah, you know, it kind of can and it kind of can't. Sometimes you can have it. Hey, what's up, Zach? Yeah, no, it's good to see you on this side too. We got to be support buddies today. I got to watch you. You get to watch me a little bit. Hope the rest of your day has been nice. It was kind of fun and funny to chat with your mom for a second on your stream. Now I just got to get my mom to jump on a stream. It's funny, I've been talking to my mom about all this stuff, just all the things I've been doing with Twitch and Discord and just hanging out and getting to meet new people, all the neat streamers that I've have gotten to encounter and who have been helpful. It's been relaxing, but yeah, I asked her to join up a little. No, that's good, man. I think that's great. It's good to get family involved and because my aunt has she followed. I don't think she's watched a stream yet, but she's very excited. And my mom says she's watched some stuff on Twitch before, but she doesn't understand it, so I might have to help her get on. I don't know if she'll watch a bunch of streams, but she'll probably want to see just what it's all about. I do put my VODs, or at least I've put some of my VODs on YouTube, so I might have her look at some of those just to kind of see the streams. But yep, family supporting is nice. Let's see. Agreed. Older folks are a little bit more complicated with those things, but I'm sure would enjoy it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's very intimidating when it's a new environment in technology, which is funny because my mom, she's always like, no, I'm not going to like that. And then she gets into it super hard with just things with technology. She's like, no, I would never need that. I don't want that. And then she just goes full force once she gets exposed to it. Because like streaming, she didn't want to watch anything streaming for like the longest time. And my wife and I kept trying to convince her, like, no, you're going to like it. Like, you don't even, like, you can use our logins for now just to check it out. And she's like, no, that's silly. I don't want to. I just use regular TV and cable. And then she still does cable because there's, like, things that she doesn't want to, like, give up, which I kind of understand to a certain extent. But yeah, now she's on all of our streaming services and she loves it. She loves watching shows, and we always watch streaming stuff together whenever we visit her, so it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's also cool for you because, like, your folks are off on the other side, right? Don't want to dox where you are or they are or anything, but they are not local to you, so time difference is also always a challenge, you know? Let's see. Yeah, I just got to find what they enjoy. Oh, Arizona, okay. Cool, so that's not too far, so that's nice. Let's see. I'm sure not a lot of older generations like watching video games, but I've seen this lady does puzzles and won awards at Streamer. Yeah, I mean, it is really cool just how many different things people can do on streaming, and I think that's what folks don't really get with streaming, is that it keeps going back and forth. there's something for everyone. Like, that's part of why I wanted to do this, is because I know Twitch is like mainly video games, and now just chatting is like the big thing. And I figure what I'm doing kind of hits multiple audiences, because I like chatting too. And I know a lot of game nerds like myself. I'm not outside of that realm. Enjoy seeing the process and seeing how things are made. Okay, let's see. I think I need to turn this a little bit, because the grip on the other hand is tighter, which I like. I think I need to just kind of adjust this. Bring this back. What I'm enjoying is my kid being a gamer now. Like, he's been a gamer for a long time, but now he's starting to like find his own stuff, not just things mom and dad like. Like I was telling you earlier today, Zach, he's finally gotten onto Fortnite, which my wife is not excited about, but I'm like, come on, it's okay. I gotta calm him down a little bit sometimes about it, because, you know, he's ADHD, so he's super hyper fixated. But he's having a good time. I think what I like about Fortnite is there's not really communication with other folks, unless, you know, you want to like do a call with friends or something, but you don't have to hear the chatter of the randos that you're playing with. So that I like. And even though it's, you know, violence and guns and blah blah blah, it is still more stylized. So, and I know he's not like easily influenced with that kind of stuff. So it's just making sure that he's enjoying it and not being unhealthy with it, which that's the job of a parent. But I'm glad that he's, you know, having a real good time. He's playing it on Switch too. See, yeah, that's a good thing, so he doesn't get to talk to crazy people or have people saying curse words. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a teenager now, so he's gonna hear that stuff, and it is what it is. So there's only so much that we can do. But yeah, the longer he can stay out of like COD lobbies and all that shit, the better, in my opinion. And he's gonna start high school next year, so my hope is at that point he'll make some good friends that like some of these games that he plays. Middle school has been rough for him in a number of ways, but yeah, let's see exactly, but I'm not gonna lie, yeesh, COD is at the age of like 9, 12. I mean, for sure, man. Oh, where did she go? I didn't realize she was turned off. Okay, there we go. All right, so tonight, I think we're gonna start. I'm gonna turn off stuff like this and try to just focus on the main clothing. Let's see. When it was open lobby with mics and such. Hey, yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, just stopped in real quick before bed. Have a good night. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping in. It was good to hang with you on your stream earlier today. Get some rest. I know your work schedule is a lot, so Yeah, have a good one, man. See you on Tuesday. All right. So I think I'm going to start with her capelet as far as getting this stuff going. I'm going to reinflate some of this stuff. Oh, so one setting that I don't like is when you have reference images up, you have to toggle something off so you can actually work on something. And I wish that was like the opposite. The default was that I could toggle this stuff on and off. But it's not a big deal. But yeah, so I'm going to have the kind of lining, not lining, the kind of the trim. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. So I'm going to do the trim separate. And the trim obviously is influenced by the fabric. So I'm going to focus on the fabric first of the capelet. And kind of get that shaped. And then I'll probably go in after the fact and adjust that. But first I just want to move it kind of into place in all these spots instead of actually doing like sculpting work, wrinkles and stuff. This is going to be kind of like in the beginning when I was doing the shifting around with this brush called the move brush. It's just grabbing, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oop. Oop. There we go. There we go. So looking at the wireframe, I'm just basically using this brush to grab the different points, all the areas where the lines meet. And shift it around. In the end, I might even create a new trim because it might be easier to create the new trim rather than shifting everything around. Which is good, and it's not really a waste of time that I already had that trim there, because one, it was kind of fun to make and get practice in how I wanted it to look, and also I still have that original model where she's in her A pose, which I might use for other things. Still debating if I want to do like my own action figure of her just for funsies, because I've never really printed out a figure myself. I did a prototype, or I've done some prototype stuff, but I'd like to get some more flexible resin and mess with that and create an action figure that's right off the printer that obviously it's not going to be completely workable, like something off a production line from Hasbro or anything, but it would be more posable and it would be nice to have like some functionality to the prototypes, because then I can maybe take them somewhere and show them off to people. Okay. So this back stuff flares up too. As I can see from the image over here, you can kind of see the back. Let me zoom in. Ooh. See, the back of it is flaring up and out a little bit. So there's a nice roll that's happening. A few rolls. There we go. Don't want that to come in too much either. We don't want to lose mass or length to the fabric. That's one thing that you got to be careful with when you're manipulating stuff like this, is that you could lose mass that's supposed to be there. So you just got to kind of keep an eye on what you're shifting around and make sure you're like compensating in some sort of way. There's a little bit of cheating that's going to happen, but you at least want that stuff to make sense. Let's see. I want to try the resin BJD. Let's see. It's meant for dolls and is supposed to not wear out with movement and friction. Also, Resi 1 Tough 74 V2 for the joints. That sounds really cool, bud. How many printers do you actually have, Josh? Because that's the thing too, is like, I'd like to try different resins, and I kind of have a plan to do like, have different tubs for different resins, but I don't want to have too many different resins because that's just a lot of switch out. And I feel like if I had another printer, that would make that all a lot easier. But that's also a lot of money and a lot of justification. See, I have one Saturn for my production and small Mars for testing. Okay. See, that's all you can fit. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, even if I wanted another printer, I don't know if I could fit another printer anywhere myself. What I actually want, if I was to get another printer, I want to get like a bamboo or something, a filament printer, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I can do with that too. I would like to get into, I have always wanted to also venture into working with or helping cosplayers with props or costume pieces that could be modeled and produced easier in 3D and then printed out rather than sculpting. So that's another avenue that I've kind of wanted to get into, but you know, a resin printer like a Saturn or whatever, it's not really good for a lot of those props because the resin usually is a bit brittle or harsh. It's good for smaller detail stuff, and like some of that stuff can survive, but man, a filament printer, the stuff that comes off that, it's a little bit more durable, not as brittle. So yeah, if I was gonna get another printer, I would like to go that route. But like you said, with space, man, it's really hard. See, for small detail, yeah, but if you want to do bigger stuff, printer. Let's see. Yeah, it just depends, I think. Like EVA foam is going to be great as far as weight is concerned in a lot of ways, and safety, because some stuff is just going to be dangerous, but there's some stuff that just it's easier to model than it is, and also there's a lot of people that just aren't that crafty. they're good cosplayers and they're good with fabric, but maybe they're not as good with sculpting stuff out and prop making. Even at first, you know. And I don't mean to say not good, maybe inexperienced. And also there's some people that just don't like doing that stuff. They are experienced, but maybe they want alternatives for some things. I know, oh gosh, I forgot what her name is, but there is a cosplayer that I really enjoy. She does a lot of cool, she's done some stuff from the Horizon series, Monster Hunter, I think, and her, I think, husband, at least boyfriend, he does a lot of 3D modeling for her cosplays. They have a scan of her body, and he will build stuff to her specifications for like masks and props and some costume pieces. So yeah, there definitely is a need, and she's very good with EVA and foam. So it just depends, you know. So you make sense, need stuff. So you need a farm to print real big stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I have a buddy that has several filament printers. So like if I really needed to, like I could probably circle him in, get us both a little bit of money. But he just likes to do it for fun. So I don't know. I've tried to pay him for stuff and he refuses. I know there's something that I want him to do coming up that I need to prep. And I'm going to give him money for it, but he doesn't want it. We'll see how that goes. But it's a thing that's not for me. I'm doing it for someone else as kind of a gift. So it's like, you know, I don't feel comfortable. Like I gave my free time for this thing for me because it's from me to this person. But yeah, that's different. That's because I know this person and they're cool and I want to give them something. And I'm not going to have anyone else pay for that. But for his services, for something that I'm wanting for someone else, I don't want him to do that for free, you know? I don't feel comfortable with that. I know if it's just me, like, then maybe I'll be a little bit easier on it. I won't fight him. Because, you know, also money's tight all the time. But, yeah, mainly no. I want to give him money and thank him for all the things that he has, excuse me, printed for my kid and some of the few things that he's printed for me. But yeah, let's see how this is looking. It's looking pretty good. It's getting there. There's definitely some areas that fix a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Were you thinking of Beverly Downen before? I saw her on Tested. No, but I also like her a lot. Yeah. If I'm thinking of the same person, let's see if I can find her. Let's see, I think. I haven't seen her on in a while, so like I'm really bad with like remembering everyone's Instagram handle. But yeah, when I get a chance, I will. Maybe I'll say it on next stream, and I'll probably message you when I see her on next. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Kay? Thanks for swinging through. Just working on some more Frieren. Trying to work on the costume a little bit more. So far we've been working on our capelet. I post this bottom hand. I'll probably do a little bit more work on that, but for now, kind of working my way down shoulders to the skirt. But yeah. And then I'll tackle the hair. I'm excited to do the hair because I think there's a lot of action in the hair, which will be a lot of fun. That could be probably a whole stream in itself. But yeah, we'll see how far we get tonight with the costume. Let's see. Pretty happy with how it's coming so far. Also, I'm really bummed. Season 2 of Frieren has begun. It began on January 16th. And Netflix said in several locations, on some of their platforms, that Season 2 is coming January 16th. So I was all excited. Waiting all day. Wondering where it was. And it turns out that they don't get it yet. But it was on Crunchyroll, which I do not have, which is a bummer. And the only reason I don't have it is because I would be the only one watching it, and I can't justify another streaming service if I'm the only one using it, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, but yeah. Money's tight, yo. Can't have all the streaming services as much as I want them. I want, is it Shudder? Is that the horror movie one, I think? I definitely want that one, because I love horror movies. Let's see. Use my control. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I'm trying to use this money to pay for enhancing the stream. And also just getting better at using social media. I'm slowly improving that. I have a plan over the next year. Well, not to take that long, hopefully, to improve my presence on social media. I don't remember if I talked about it last time. When I was on stream about how actually for a number of years I was drastically reducing my social media footprint for a number of reasons. So I only kind of had Instagram going, and I had gotten rid of my Twitter, never had TikTok, pulled way back from Facebook, but it feels like everyone's pulling way back from Facebook, everyone. So that's not abnormal. But yeah, now that I'm doing all this stuff, I need to have more of a presence on social media, and it needs to be more curated and have some purpose, and I need to grow and all that fun stuff. And I know there's lots of things that I need to be doing to work with the algorithm and boost numbers, but it's going to take a while for me to be able to do all that stuff. But I have some content plans that hopefully I'll be able to implement and that people will like, and that will help engage and build growth, and in turn build growth here. Let's see, Luke wants to know if you are using Blender. No, I am not. I'm using ZBrush. But Blender is a very popular freeware that I do support people getting into. I have worked with it a little bit, and I would like to work with it more, but not yet. But that's one I encourage people to work with. I know there's a couple of folks in some Discord servers that I am heavily involved with that use Blender, and I'm always excited to see their work and see them grow. And also here, like, even though I'm just using ZBrush, a lot of things do apply to other softwares, especially Blender. They do have some pretty powerful looking sculpting tools. So that's another reason why I want to kind of get into Blender eventually, because it would be nice to see what it can do and take advantage of some of the really stellar modeling tools that are in Blender, and maybe make that my primary software package. But yeah, so yeah, this is not Blender, but Blender's really cool. This is ZBrush, and I've been working in ZBrush for, gosh, about 20 years now, because I think I started working on it in 2006, which is wild to think that I've been doing this for that long. All right, so I think this is pretty good. It's not exactly the same. I might do some adjustments, but it's pretty much where it needs to be. Once I start getting into like the fabric work, then I'll start worrying a little bit more about the nuances of it, and I might use more of the sculpting tools. Well, I will use more of the sculpting tools to get the wrinkles and some of the detail and stuff like that in there. And I'll probably enhance it a little bit more too, because we don't have to exactly stick to the reference. It's a guide, but I want to be a little bit close to it, because that's kind of just what I do. All right, let's get this up. Autosave. But yeah, for everyone again that's hanging out and sticking around, thank you. I appreciate you having me in the background on your Saturday night. I know for some of you folks it's late in your evening. Hopefully you're having a nice time working on stuff yourself. Got me in the background. If you ever have questions or want me to clarify stuff, also please let me know. Because especially right now, I'm just kind of chugging through. And a lot of this stuff I've kind of gone over before, because I've already been working on this for a couple months now. Which in reality would be a long time for something like this. But since I mostly just work on her on streams, I've done 10 streams, about 2 hours each. So if you do the math, I've barely been working on her a day or two, day and a half maybe. And typically, I like to get something like this done in like a week's time. At least get it in front of a client. But at some point, I'm probably going to try to speed through this off stream and do other stuff, so that way I can get to the end quicker. Like, depending on how we get on the clothing tonight, I'll probably try to work on that before next stream, so then I can focus on the hair next stream, and then we can start really talking about engineering. Let's see. It's late enough here that the Monday work dread has already started. Oh, man. Yeah, I hear you. I'm kind of there, too. It's been a weird week because I took Monday off because I was on a camping trip, and then, let's see, maybe I can mess with this a little bit. And then, like I said, I got sick, and then that I still had stuff that I really needed to get done, so I decided to work from home while sick, which helped me stress-wise as far as getting my stuff done at work, but was not good for my body because I was definitely hurting a couple of those days. And it wasn't the worst sickness, but you know, when your body's not 100% and you're trying to get stuff done, it's still a slog. So today is honestly like the first day that I've kind of felt okay. Especially because I have other things that I've volunteered to put on my plate in the past couple months. And I probably should have also stepped back a little bit on those things while I wasn't feeling well. But with the way my brain works, I feel way too responsible. So I keep pushing through. And I don't know if that's how any of you feel sometimes, but that is something that I struggle with. Taking on a responsibility and taking it very seriously, even if that's not what's being asked of me from other people involved. But, you know, that's part of the way my neurodivergent brain chemistry works. And I can't really do much about it. I'm getting better, though. Alright, so I am going to try to move the trim around a little bit just to see how, like, much of a pain it's going to be. Because if it's not going to be too much of a pain, I'll just work already with what I've got and not redo it. But if it's going to be a huge pain, then I'll probably stop. Sorry for the stomp. My kid is getting very energetic downstairs and I can hear him. It's very distracting. I don't know if you guys can hear him. And if you can't, that's really good. But if you can, I apologize. But I am very happy because, like I said, he's playing this game. He's really enjoying it. And it's cool to see when he's getting really into stuff. Let's see. We can, but it's all good. All right. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do when someone's really getting into a game, especially if it's a competitive game. It's just a little distracting for me, but I'm trying to power through. It was funny, I could even hear my wife go like, "Daddy's streaming upstairs, shh." See, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, going all the way around. I don't know. Let's see. Doop, doop, doop. Let's see. My boys are interested in whatever Ben is into. Well, he's playing Fortnite now, so I don't know if they're going to be interested in that. But yeah, he's been playing that a lot. What's funny is actually there's a crossover with Fall Guys and Fortnite right now because same people make it. And so even though he's been playing the heck out of kind of the regular what's known to be like the main game for Fortnite since he started playing, he actually has been playing the Fall Guys, not collab, but I guess crossover event that they've been doing, and really digging that, which is funny because it seems like it's just something that was ripped from Fall Guys, so I don't know why they didn't do something a little bit more unique. But it does seem like they changed some stuff from what my boy was saying. But yeah. Let's see. Poppy Playtime collab with Fortnite. Yes, there is. I believe there is. There's just so many collabs with Fortnite. They are a company that I don't know how they do it, but they license a lot. I mean, there's Back to the Future, Stranger Things. Gosh, what else? Marvel, Star Wars. It's honestly hard to think of what they haven't done. I mean, right now they're doing South Park. They did The Simpsons recently. It's pretty wild, all the different franchises and companies and stuff that they've worked with. They've worked with several musical artists and done concerts and stuff in game. So yeah, it's pretty incredible the stuff that they've done. In that realm. The only like game franchise or game that I think rivals Fortnite as far as like their licensing and the crazy collaborations that they've done is probably Dead by Daylight, which I love to watch people play. I haven't played myself. I've wanted to for years, but just multiplayer games and me are not friends. Haven't been for years, although I've considered kind of jumping in on some of the ones that I really enjoy watching because they just seem so fun. I think Among Us is like one of the few that I actually do play, which is not very often. It's only with like friends and stuff and people I know for the most part. But yeah. The Escape Trials. Yeah, I'm not familiar with what the actually was involved with the collaboration. I'm sure Ben knows, even though it's been over. I'm sure my kid knows, even though it's been over, because he's done all kinds of research. But yeah. So I said I wasn't going to do this, but yeah, I ended up doing it. Kind of drag it all the way around. Still might redo it if I don't like how it like looks in the end to get it a little bit cleaner. But at least for like looks wise tonight, maybe for some images that I'll take, I'll have the trim in place. Yeah, as soon as I finish this last little bit, I'm going to start working on the skirt. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I guess I got off my tangent. You know, Frieren is on Crunchyroll, but it's not on Netflix, even though Netflix said that they were going to have it at the same time, or at least teased that they were. They definitely do not have it right now. So I'm going to have to wait because I do not have Crunchyroll. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But I was sad and disappointed that I couldn't start watching it on release day. But it's a very good show. Again, I highly recommend. The first season is all on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic series. Whoop. There we go. Here we go. So the capelet now is looking a little bit more like it should. Now let's get to this skirt. Right. For everyone popping in, thanks for popping in. I see there's some new faces. Don't want to call you out in chat if you're just lurking and just hanging out, but thanks for stopping in. I always appreciate people coming through. Let's see, Netflix does love to tease. They do that a lot, and it's annoying. I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, like last time, I'm just going to start to kind of like push things into place first. Try to find how to get the flow and the billowiness. I don't know if anybody has seen Frieren in here, but again, what I love about this character is just she has this aloofness because she is an elven mage who has seen a lot. She's old, and she has seen the world pass by. Not all beings are like the elves that last as long as them as far as age goes. She still looks very young. And I think somewhere I was reading she's still kind of considered a juvenile or very young for an elf. Not very young, but she's probably like in her early 20s, late teens maybe. Probably more early 20s at this point, as far as her mindset. But she is far older than that. And she just has to encounter all these people that kind of like come and go through her life, and everything is really fleeting for her. But she kind of learns that maybe that attitude is not going to serve her as well as it used to. And also maybe just she's emotionally evolving and that she can't maintain that same level of aloofness as she does actually start to connect with others and want to connect with others. But yeah, it's a really cool character, really cool series, fantasy show. Just so y'all know, an ad break's coming up in a few minutes. So stick around, hang out. Josh, hang out with me while the ads are going, since you don't get ads. And yeah. I hope y'all are enjoying so far. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ask about either just my process or the process in general. I don't do things like everyone else does. I think everyone works a little bit differently. There are a lot of things that I do the same as others, and there's a lot of things that it's just I have to kind of work my own way because my brain chemistry makes me do things a little differently. And for some, that might take people a little bit longer to go the route that I go. But for whatever reason, for me, my brain cooks through it a little bit more. I know kind of one of the funny things is at work, I'm fairly efficient. And then some people see my process and they're like, why do you do it like that? I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just the way it works for me. And some people will try and then they will soon learn that my methods, while they get results, might not be the best workflow for them. So that's another thing to discover too. As you know, you're working in art or 3D, it's nice to learn technique, but workflow, unless there's like a specific workflow with your studio or wherever you're working that is really necessary for like a proprietary thing or to get a certain result, find your way. Find the way that works best for you. I think that's the best advice I can give most artists, is that we constantly try to achieve a result through someone else's method or path. And just because it works well for them does not mean it works well for us. And vice versa. Vice versa. And some people think that if you don't do it their way, you're not doing it the right way. But I have always been under the thought that as long as you're getting the results, it kind of doesn't matter how you got there. Unless what you're doing is like unethical or something for some reason. But otherwise, you know, who cares? Have fun with it. Find your optimized path. Be your own artist. You don't have to kowtow to someone else's methods. All right, ads are going to be starting soon. If you've already run through your ads by clicking in, hang out, chat with me a little bit. If you're subscribed, no ads for you. Hooray. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're going to get ads during this ad break, stick around. We'll see you when the ads are over. I might take a little bit of a drink break and save. I haven't saved in a while. There's been some auto saves. And save. And ads are still starting soon for whatever reason. It always says like, oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, stretch a little bit. This has been going good so far. Let's see. What cool kids are still here? As far as subscriber kids, I think it's only you. There's a couple of, there's a lot of other people that are hanging out. And maybe they sat through some ads on the way in, so they might not have to deal with this ad break right now. I don't know, Twitch is weird with how it deals with ads. I know some people, if they clicked in not too long ago, they probably clicked into ads, so they might be able to skip this break. And sometimes there's no ads available. And so ads don't run. But I'm hoping ads are running, because I'd like to get some ad money. Oh. Hey! Thanks for gifting a sub to Slummer I Can She 17. Had to bring someone else in. Yeah, unfortunately, that person I don't think is in the chat tonight. That's one of the interesting things about the anonymous subs, or the random subs, is it can go to people that are followers, but not necessarily in the chat. But that still helps me, so thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Always helping me out. My number one guy, that's for sure. I think one time you gifted someone directly. I think it was actually Zach. He was here earlier, but yeah, he had to go. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. You think it would go to people in here first? Cool. Either. Yeah, no, yeah, it's cool either way. And you would think so. It's very interesting how that system works. I'm not really sure. I know I've been gifting subs to people that I just kind of like follow randomly that I don't watch. I follow a lot of people just to kind of like help with those numbers, but I can't watch everyone, which is understandable. And when I do get subbed to people, I try to. Welcome back from ad break. Ads are over. But yeah, it's just all very interesting. Oh, I see how I can directly now. I'll remember that for next time. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you did it right now, and I appreciate that you are saying there's a next time. You are the guy that is helping keeping the engine moving. And I appreciate you so much, Mr. Brown. You and your toys and your resin and your printers. All that stuff. And we still got to talk because I know there's some things that you wanted to work with me on in the near future. Like I said, as you know, like the Odia stuff right now is going to take precedence. But if you want to start talking about stuff, if it's things that you don't want to talk about, like outside of a private conversation, obviously you can throw stuff in chat. But if you want to have more private conversations about that stuff, obviously I will see you on Instagram, where we do most of our chatting. Yes, because it is the new year, and I know we talked about a few different things that we could do, and all of it I'm excited for. Frieren! Yep, that's right. Hey, Six, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here. How are you feeling? I was saying earlier how I'm recovering from illness, and I know you were saying that I think you were that you are sick as well. I hope that you're not in the bad way that I was feeling, because I've been working from home the past few days, and man, it was a slog. Every day I felt progressively worse. Yesterday being like the coming to a head where I just, Thank you. Yeah. Sending love your way too, man. Boop. How's your farm coming, by the way? I still can't believe that I passed you up. You gotta catch up. You probably won't take you very far to get past me again. For those of you that do not understand what I'm talking about, we play a silly farm game called Farm Merge Valley, and it is a great way to pass the time. See, just at level 20. All right, you fell off like, yeah, no, the same. Not as long as a week, but yeah, there was a bit where I was just like kind of dead with it. But yeah, woohoo! Yeah, you're catching up to me then soon. See, we all miss Farmville. Okay, we all miss Farmville. We even were talking about when we started playing this game. We were talking about Farmville because we miss Farmville. How many times can I say that? I think there is a version of the game that is still playable, because I kind of looked into it, but I need to look into it more, because I guarantee you if I can find it, we will probably shift from Farm Merge Valley to Farmville, and everyone would flip out. My farm kicked. Yep. I bet it did. Mine did too. I really liked that game for a long time. It was one of the few things. Are you saying that you would play both then, Six? I mean, I wouldn't take Merge Valley off the server. I'm not saying that people have to stop playing it, but I know some people probably would only have the bandwidth for one or the other. Some people, clearly not everyone. And honestly, even though I say I play one over the other, I probably also would continue to play both. Because why not? Glutton for punishment. It's always nice to have too many things to do. I still need to get back into playing games on my console. I haven't played a console game in I don't know how long. Just because I've been too tired to pick up the controller, and I feel like I've had too many things that I've put on my plate. I don't know how billowy I want this to be in the back. But we'll see. Anyway, how are you feeling, Six? Are you feeling better? Or is today like day one illness logs? Also, to everyone out there who's watching that is Southern United States, Eastern United States, that's dealing with all the crazy weather that's happening, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are keeping... Hey, 5! That's awesome, man. Thanks for the 5 streak. But yeah, you being one of them 6, I hope you all are staying as warm as you can and safe, trying to be indoors as much as possible. I know it's not always possible, and I hope the weather where you are is not at its harshest. But yeah, I know in Michigan it's crazy. I know in the southern states, some of them, it's more icy, which is even scarier in some places. So yeah, I just hope everyone is staying safe, and just wanted to put that out there and wish you all well. Also, there's a lot of other stuff going on right now that we don't need to get into, but that's also another reason to stay inside when you need to and be safe and make sure that you're around other people, even though that doesn't always keep you safe. But yeah, let's see, it's coming tonight and tomorrow. Gotten a couple inches so far. Supposed to be, yeah, that's what I was hearing, 12, 15. Yep, right there, you said it. No ice in any form, please. We don't want ice on the ground. We don't want ice in our neighborhoods. They can go to hell. Anyway, just stay safe out there, everybody. It's dangerous times for a number of reasons. Let's see, I should only be in the North and South Poles. 100%, my friend. Or in our drinks. Yep, and your sweet tea, that's right. Hope my voice is coming through okay. I know it's, like I said, it's a bit froggy. Hanging in there. I would say I'm still sick, but like I was saying, I'm feeling much better today. I was kind of dreading, I was going to stream no matter what, but yesterday I was dreading coming on stream because I didn't know how good my energy was going to be. But I'm feeling good so far. It's been nice. all you guys being here has made it much more enjoyable. So thank you again, everybody. I always appreciate people coming in to hang out. I always have this thought that it's going to be like me, maybe one person, probably Josh, because I'm still new and I'm still kind of tripping out that I have gotten such awesome support early. And I just really appreciate everybody giving me some of their time, whether it's that click and that lurk or spending time in chat, which is really fun for me, because otherwise I'd be talking to myself, which I can do just fine, but it's nice to have the interaction and the feedback. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I know you're biased, though. Thank you, Kay. You're really cool, too. You're one of my favorite camping buddies. All right. Which, by the way, so for anybody who, I think a lot of you did know, obviously last week did not stream because I was camping, and I gotta say, that is one of, the trip that we went on is one of my favorite camping trips that we do, the organization that we went with. And it was a big trip for me because I was coordinating it. I was doing a lot of the logistics for the trip, and it was very overwhelming, but once the trip got going, it was a lot of fun. It was a big group of people. It was like 35 people total. And it was a mix of youth and adult, and just a lot of fun. We went to explore some lava tubes, which, if folks don't know what lava tubes are, basically it's kind of self-explanatory once you hear it, but when lava is traveling through the earth, and as also the crust layer of the lava, as that hardens, the lava underneath keeps flowing through, and eventually it leaves like a cave or a cavern, and you can crawl through a lot of them in this particular area, because there was I think a number of volcanoes that were in this area. Now they're all dormant. Some of them, I think, for about 10,000 years they've been dormant. And yeah, it's just really cool to explore the lava tubes. We went into one that's called Amboy Crater, but it's an old volcano. And we also went fossil hunting, because there's an area that has fossils that are just lying around, trilobite fossils to be specific. And it's really cool because kind of it's open, unowned land that we're at. It's public land. So there really aren't rules as far as what you can and can't do out there, but kind of the rule of, in general, when it comes to the fossils and stuff, is you want other people to come and be able to experience this too. So everyone can take like one home if they wanted to. And it's really neat to kind of take a little piece of this oceanic history home. And I think part of it is because it's so plentiful, like you can find a ton of these things there that, it's not a thing that is frowned upon to take some of this stuff. Otherwise, yeah, that wouldn't be great. But yeah, it's a really cool trip. We do it every other year. Last year instead, we went to Death Valley, which also was really cool. But yeah, I like camping. And it's a nice time with family and this group of people that we go with. Does anybody else camp? Anybody else out there like camping or do any fun activities? Does anybody have any fun plans for the new year? I know we're deeper in. We're almost to the end of January, but it's still the new year. Anybody got any cool travel plans or things that they're going to be doing? If you go outside, that's nice. It's not for you though. Let's see. A lot better weather this year. Not nearly as windy. Yeah. Yeah, no, the weather was a lot nicer this year. That's for sure. But you know what? My chat is like in the worst spot. I think mostly it's because I've been covering up what I've been working on with chat. Doop. Let's see. My camping stopped when I got married, not for her. Let's see. I used to do a lot of caving too. That's cool, man. Yeah, my wife is like kind of like okay with camping. She doesn't really like it all that much either, but she can do it. I think we did a little bit of camping for a bit together, but mostly it's me and the kiddo and a bunch of friends and stuff, where we go every like few months. There's usually like a trip every month, but we don't do all of them because it's just a lot. Let's see, that's better. All right, so since I've been covering her up most of the time because of the chat, here, let me just, move this. Maybe I'm going to shrink you just a little bit. That's still readable. Let's just see where she's at so far. Some pretty good progress today, I think. She's definitely looking more interesting and energetic. I think the next thing I'm going to do is mess with the trim again a little bit with her, just to get that kind of looking where it's going to go. I still might redo it with the skirt. And build it off of those pieces, the capelet and the skirt pieces. But the next thing, really once the trim's going, is the sleeves. Let's see, we're at about an hour and a half. I might do another half hour, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, usually my max though is about 2.5 hours, especially since I've been sick. I might stop at that 2-hour mark today just to give myself a little bit of a break. But yeah, I have really enjoyed doing this. Streaming is a lot of fun. It's still a new world for me, but I've gotten to meet a lot of really cool people and join some fun and interesting communities. Fallen into a bunch of ways to help and support, which has been really cool. And yeah, it is what it is. I know a lot of folks that follow me are much more familiar with the YouTube route of streamers and content creators, and Twitch is rather foreign. So I appreciate all those folks who've kind of taken the leap to jump over to Twitch to hang out with me here. But I am... Whoa! Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Thank you, Anonymous, for the 5 gifted. That is really cool. I appreciate that a lot. And congrats to K Hospital, Dookie Mookie, and Weffy Sensei, and 6, and it's storming. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Anonymous donor. That is really cool. So all of you that got gifted subs, enjoy those. Right now, the biggest benefit to being subbed to me is you don't have to sit through ads, which is a pretty good benefit. And yeah, sub goal met, which is really cool. My sub goal wasn't huge because I'm still not expecting a ton of subs. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a nice shock. Wow. Cool. So yeah, I guess I'll just keep going. Recover from that a little bit. Stop looking at Frieren skirt. I know who you are. I know who you're doing it. Don't do that. This is a tasteful stream. Let's see. Now I have to go longer? Yeah. I don't know about that. We'll see. I was just talking about why I might cut it a little bit shorter tonight, so that way I can give myself a break, because it would be nice to do that. Let's see. I have to respect Frieren and not look. That's right, 6. You have to. She deserves your respect. All the people that she has saved. All the demons she has slain. She is goddess, she's queen. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think in the end I'm going to redo this trim just from the skirts and the capelet, because it will ultimately end up looking better and it will follow the flow a lot nicer. But I'm glad that I've kind of like shifted what I already had into place for now, just for kind of looks. All right, now what I want to do, I'm going to bring this, let's see. Nope. I'm going to bring this back up, and I'm going to start working on the sleeves. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is like position and manipulate the cuffs, because the cuffs on her sleeves are pretty big, loopy, and bulky, and the shape of them, especially in this reference, is not uniform. So I need to stretch that out and kind of get the shape of those first, and then bring the sleeve to wherever that's going to end up. So first, I'm going to hide these elements. As you can see, I got jewels that are out of place here. So that's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that's kind of like has shifted around that I'm also going to have to eventually stick into place anyway. So I'm just going to hide these and try not to worry about them. And then I'll move them where I need to move them in the future. And first I'm going to mask off the left cuff and just focus on the right cuff. Hype chest. Open. What happens when I open a hype chest? Oh, we got a new emote. There we go. We got some random emotes coming up and added. Choo choo. Thanks for the hype train. Thanks for the anonymous subs again. Really cool. Still kind of floored by it. And whoever you are, thank you so much. All right, so it goes kind of oblong. There's a rectangle kind of shape to the cuff in this in the reference. So I'm going to try to see if I can get that going. What's tough is, here I'll bring the wireframe up. I don't, if I drop too low, I don't know if I have enough information. Maybe I do. To work with. What I mean by information, I mean like detail. But I actually think I might. So I'm just going to mask stuff off and kind of move it around first to keep things as uniform as possible. Kind of get this rectangular shape going first, kind of a generic rectangular shape. And it does taper more here. So I'll mask off and then I softened the mask. So when you, obviously look, if you hold down Control, and you can drag different type of masks. This is a lasso mask. But once you have the geometry masked, you can soften the mask so it doesn't have to be as hard. And this can help with shifting stuff around to not have such a harsh change in the geometry. So I hold down Control, and if I tap on the geo, you can see it's still dark over here and it fades a little bit more, which is nice for me because I can kind of shrink this end and have it not affect this as much. And I can go back in and sharpen that a little bit. And now it's a more of a gradual drop off here, a little bit more of a taper. Now I can go in and kind of just start manipulating some of this stuff. Shifting it around. Okay. Can move it to there. Let's see if I can hide the sleeves too, just to see. Excuse me. Where this cuff is landing on her wrist. Excuse me again. See, haven't been coughing much today, but As you can see, it's kind of still there. Okay. That's about the right spot, I think. Now I'm going to start coughing again. And I brought it up. I'm also going to shift this up just a little bit in the back because it looks like there is a little bit of a flip up to the back of the cuff. Let's smooth it out just to see. Yeah, there we go. Might bring that out and bring this in a little bit. Yeah. All right, so now we bring the coat back. And now we got to start manipulating this sleeve. So we can line it back up with the cuff that we moved around. But this could be a little bit more organic. Again, apologies. Maybe I need to drink some more water. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that'll be good for a bit. But yeah, this will be a little bit more organic. Manipulating the sleeve because it's not as solid of a structured fabric as the cuff is. So I just kind of got to get it in place. Let's see. All right, I'm heading out. Hey, man, thank you for swinging through for as long as you did. I appreciate it. Glad you were here. It was nice chatting with you. Congrats on the sub. So come back. And I'll see you on the farm. You visit mine, I'll visit yours. Have a good night, man. All right. Cool. All right, so that is looking pretty good. Oh, I might shift her around here and turn her head and bring it down because this actually is a really good position. I might have to remember this. Save that. I can save the angles of models, which is very helpful sometimes because when you're posing stuff, if you find that right angle, it's hard to get back to it. So now I've saved that position and I can pop her back in that position, and I'm going to repose the head eventually. But this actually is feeling a lot more like the model right here. I might move some of this stuff again to match more. But yeah, that position seems more correct and hitting in a lot of the right spots. Cool. All right, now I'm going to mess around with at least this right sleeve. Might not get to the left sleeve tonight, but we'll see. Have a bunch of people that are subscribed, so exciting. Maybe I will stick around a little bit longer. But first, I think I'm going to hide the capelet, because that will make this a bit easier. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the sleeve kind of billows out a little bit over here, so I'm just going to kind of pull it. This outer bit. I might pull some of this underside in. Let's see. I'm going to make sure not to pull it too far in some of these spots, because I don't want to get outside of the cuff. Now, just going to rough in. I'm going to drop down the subdivision levels, so the wireframe is just going to be a little bit lower. And I'm going to use the standard brush, which is another one of my favorites, and just start to kind of like rough in. Some of what's happening here. So I don't know if you can see, but clearly where this fabric is here. Here, let me zoom in. I'm rotating again every time I try to zoom. So right here, I think, is kind of where the elbow is, where the bend is. So I'm going to build up right there, and then there's kind of a fold in underneath that. And that is where I'm going to kind of get this going in. Just have this off to the side again. Step this up just a little bit. So yeah, so there's going to be also a run of the fabric that goes kind of underneath to the back side. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between the standard and the move brush, because some bits it's going to be nicer to pull. In some other parts, it's going to be nicer to just kind of like flow the wrinkles. And actually, I might turn off the color and change my material right now to this gray material. Well, not that gray material. This gray material. Because it's a little bit nicer to see the sculpted detail as you're going through with kind of this gray muddy material, because you can see the shadows a little bit more. I'm just going to go through and rough in where these folds seem like they're going to be. And as I go through, clearly in 3D, I'm going to kind of notice what's working and what's not working and readjust. But that's part of the challenge and the fun, for me at least, in working in translating 2D works to 3D works. I think one of the most challenging jobs I ever did, and I actually posted it on Instagram, ever worked on, was for Warner Brothers. And I was working on Pepe Le Pew as a Christmas ornament for Hallmark. And the hardest part was translating his profile versus his the front view of how he looks in the cartoons. And it is really hard to do that, only because there's a lot of cheating that happens when you are creating a cartoon character from profile to front view to make them look a certain way. And yeah, see, he's a handsome skunk. Yeah, that's true. You got to get it right. But what I was having issue with is that in the front view, for a lot of animated characters, especially like those classic WB or Disney characters like Mickey and all those, when they turn to the front, their noses drop. So you can see their eyes clearly. And when they go in profile, their noses are much higher, and they actually come into their field of vision. Because it's nice, I guess. Aesthetically, it looks a little bit better. I don't know if that's exactly the reasoning, but that's my guess. And I think the upturned nose, it just like, again, like more curves and stuff that you have, the more change in direction is kind of nice. But yeah, with the way he looks in reality from the front and in the way he's drawn from the profile, just wasn't lining up. And the folks that I was talking to about that just were not getting it. And I was like, there's only so much we can do. We have to pick a view to favor, and then the other view, we have to kind of accept that it doesn't work. And they just weren't having it, and I was getting very frustrated with the client and my project manager at the time, because he should have known better. And I was frustrated because he wasn't sticking up for me with the issue with the notes, because it was Warner Brothers, their big client. And I was like, that's great, but it still doesn't change reality of we're trying to translate something that's 2D into 3D, and they are not considering the 3D in what they're sending us. So it's not going to work the way they want it to. So that was a really cool job. I really liked it. I thought it turned out well, but it was very frustrating to deal with. And I would like to say that's abnormal, but it's not. But that, I haven't really had that issue in a long time. The one that I really usually do have issue with more is people understanding perspective in the computer. It doesn't always match reality. And when we're sculpting a lot, we sculpt with perspective off and then kind of turn it back on. Here, I'll turn perspective on. When needed, just to kind of do a double check. And honestly, ZBrush's perspective isn't great. I can actually change it, lessen it. There we go. Stop that. So yeah, ZBrush's perspective is not all that great. But it's not the worst. And getting a client to understand perspective is very challenging sometimes, especially if they're just not familiar with the 3D world as far as creating product or anything for that matter. Because most of the time I'm working on product. That's kind of my field of expertise, making toys, and I've made all kinds of stuff. I've worked on Pez dispensers, Christmas ornaments, yeah, just a lot of crazy weird stuff. Let's see. I mean, as soon as you said it, I understood the issue. I'm not sure why they. I mean, yeah, that's very, very confusing to me as well. I have found that more people are getting it now, but back then, I think when 3D was still new, when used to make product, I think it was a little bit more confusing because they were used to seeing, the reality of it when sculptors were making it by hand, and they weren't understanding that there's kind of like a difference to it now that it's in 3D. But yeah, that's how it is. Let's see. In ZBrush's perspective issue, like a focal length type of font, yes, it very much is. And I think it's just also the way it presents it, but it's mostly, yeah, the focal length is the issue. Here we go. So I wouldn't say that sleeve is done. Well, here, let's get that view back. Let's see, I think I need to pull the sleeve in a little bit more. I don't think her shoulders are as broad. Excuse me. Yeah, I might have to be cutting it soon. We'll power through. I think I have one more. Hold on. Let's see. A little bit more in me. But yeah, actually, I think... Here, let me switch this back to this. Turn the color back on for this. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We hit just a little bit over 2 hours. My throat's kind of getting to me again, still sick. But a lot of progress. I'm liking the flow of the fabric. Still have some fine tuning to do. I'll probably do the trim off stream just to get that where I want it. And then maybe do the other sleeve off stream too, so we can get closer, and then hopefully hair next stream. That's my goal. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it. It's going to be a busy week coming up. So I'm not sure, but that is the goal. But with that, thank you so much, everyone that swung through, everyone that's still here. I appreciate you a lot. The folks that hung out in the background and had me as their background noise, I appreciate you as well. Everything helps. My name is Kevin. I go by KGart82 online. All my platforms, most people call me KGart. You can find me on Instagram. Here, YouTube, I put my VODs up. I also am now on Threads, TikTok, and Twitter, X. But I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do with those platforms. Got to figure out how to extend the reach, but more content is going to come. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Are there any other questions before we go? Give a little bit time. All right. Well, let's do full me. Let's see. Thank you. I hope I do too. But yeah, appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Had a lot more progress on stream. Have a good night. Enjoy your coming week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.